The other fighter, obviously, on that journey that I met was obviously Smolka. He's obviously moved on from Hawaii now. It was kind of made public. You know, he was close to, I guess, throwing in the towel. You know, I mean, how close, in your eyes, how close was he to actually throwing in the towel? Like, what was that a serious thing?
Yes, I definitely feel that we were at a crossroads at that point in his career. I felt as if, we had lost four straight UFC fights, and many people forget we'd gone from winning the main event in November of 2015 or October of 2015 in Ireland to December of 2017, 2017. So we were cut January of 2018. And man, it was really, we were at a crossroads. And, he was having some issues with alcoholism. And so we knew that we had to kind of get him off the island, get him a fresh start, and get him to California, and get him in a situation to kind of just get his bearings back. Right, let's get back to training. Let's figure out what the next step is, and let's really think this through. What the next step's going to be for you.
And with the alcohol, was it a case of, say, as you say, he just had four losses, or was he around the wrong people? Is that why you kind of tried to take him off the island? Like, do you know what led to that?
I think it was a combination of things. I mean, I definitely think he has great people in Hawaii as well. I think some of the losses were adding up, and I think some of his just lifestyle habits were kind of getting the better of him. I really didn't know what we were getting ourselves into until he started living with me. And then, one night, or actually it was every night, he was drinking like 18 beers. He's basically downing an 18 pack, functioning. He'd come downstairs, talk. It was totally fine. Like, we couldn't even tell that he had drunk an 18 pack. And that's when I realized that he actually, had this behavior one night before it was like Saturday morning with Oyama's classes. You do like it's like 2 or 3 mile run sprints, and you go spar. And on Friday night, he was drinking like this. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you got to go to practice tomorrow. Like, we got to stop this. And I just remember the next morning, he got up and he was kind of, all tired and stuff. And I said, Lewis, there's 13 beers in my cupboard right now. If one of those goes missing, or if I see another beer in this house, like, we're done. Like, I've already spoke to your wife, Yumi. She's on board. Everyone's on board. Like, this is it, man. Like, we need to stop this. We need to put an end to this. Enough's enough. You drink to celebrate. You have no reason to celebrate. You just lost four straight UFC fights. You just got cut by the UFC. There's nothing to be excited about right now in our lives. Like, we're at a crossroads. We really need to make some changes. And to his credit, I mean, we definitely fought tooth and nail at each other in that house. But he stopped drinking that day, and he hasn't touched alcohol since.
So even to the point you just said, you drink to celebrate. Even during celebrations now, he's totally clean and sober.
Totally clean and sober.
So I guess what's his case of, and only because I mean, 2 points on that, like, and I totally know what you're saying about, when people drink so much and you don't even notice that they're drinking, because I had a friend like that throughout high school, right? Like, and he would turn up to a party with a case, so 24 pack. And, a lot of people would be like, oh, you brought beers for the party. And he'd be like, no, that's for me, right? Like, and I'll be there with my I'll be there with my 6-pack. But the funny thing is, I'll be more drunk of that 6-pack than he was of the 24. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, I'm like, damn, how to, like, and it gets to a point like, well, I guess you're driving, right? No, like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And the other thing with the like, so when he does have moments of celebration now, how does that look? Because I know I've got another friend that obviously is a recovering alcoholic, and he's the same. He won't touch the stuff. But I know for the first few years, like, every time, like, even, if there was a birthday party or something like that, he would say, look, I really want to be there, but just know that I just can't. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just, obviously, he's facing his demons, right? And he had to really, like, I guess, cut himself off from these social things and stuff like that. So what's his kind of, like, lifestyle like now? Like, if there are moments of celebration, and I'm not even talking about fight celebrations, I'm talking about, birthday parties or whatever, is he the type to do the same, where he just locks himself in his room and he's done? Or Has he got enough self-control to, I guess, attend these things and have fun in other ways?
I mean, I really respect the self control that he does have because he does still attend these events. I remember when we won that his first UFC fight back in China. Uh, I think we just ate. We ate like fat kids, right? We ate, cakes and sugars and candies and everything, and that was a joke, right? Like it's a running joke between me and my wife now because when he cut alcohol out, he was buying like tubs of ice cream, and he'd buy like the Twix and the ice cream, and he's making 10,000 calorie meals. And I threw away the Twix. And one morning he woke up and he was like, dude, who throws away Twix? Like, come on. Like, I'm like, Lewis, like when you win fights, you can eat like this. But right now we got to make 125. We got to make weight. We got to show that we were making some serious changes in our lives. And we got to go out there and put people away. We got to show them that we're the real deal. And to his credit, he did. But it's always a joke, who throws away.
See, and you really can't be mad because if there's one thing I know about you is that you like to look after your fighters, and one of the things that you normally do is obviously once they've made weight, once they've had their fight, I know that you used to turn up with tubs of Ben and Jerry's. So I kind of feel like
Yes,
you started the trend. He probably took it to the next level, but you can't even be mad because you kind of started that trend.